Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jahlial, and today I am here to talk about the energies of this next week from today, May 12th, until May 18th. So, clearly, the most important event that we have this week is the full moon in Scorpio in the degree 22 with 12 minutes in Scorpio. And this is part of the configuration of the full moon, the conjunction between the Sun in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus. So, it is also important to know that all this energy of transformation that we have gone through during the last weeks with the opposition between Mars and Leo and Pluto and Aquarius, and now the full moon, the tensions between Mercury and Pluto. So a lot of energy, a lot of Plutonian and Scorpion energy. This is going to pass. This is going to pass, and from the next week we are going to have other aspects, more fluid ones. There are always things happening in our lives and in the sky, but well, we have to know that nothing lasts forever. So with this coming back to the present, with this full moon, we are uncovering new levels of depth in ourselves to understand how many times we are developing patterns that created this self-sabotage because they are familiar, and they are preventing us from growing, and they are leaving us to create circumstances that reactivated those imbalances, experiences that we were avoiding, in fact, because they hurt. It is also a key to remember that there is a difference between suffering because we are perpetuating something that we are recognizing that we need to do different, than going through pain that comes from a decision in coherence, in internal coherence, because that could be the passage to a more a life with more plenitude. It is a choice, in fact, to leave behind a certain kind of suffering, you know. So this same day, the square between Mercury in Taurus and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is perfected. In the last video, I talked about this. This tension with Pluto that is already in this period of revision means that we need to take to a higher observing circumstances, conversations, and also internal dialogues that are making us feel that we cannot give form to our ideas in the matter, that are pushing us away from recognizing our own value or appreciating the value of the things that are surrounding us. Tensions with Pluto require introspection, a deep one, because when we are feeling controlled by an external situation without being able, we are feeling that we are not able to change them, we are losing our power, or on the contrary, we are trying to change that situation by forcing the situation or controlling what really needs detachment and trust that we are transiting what we need to transit. So it is important to identify the polarities. There is a tendency to go to the extremes with this tension, but well, it is a transformation. And also I wanted to clarify that this aspect that I mentioned in the video of the full moon, Mars in Leo in a trine with Venus in Aries, it is something that is happening in the long term. This lasts even until the first days of June. There is a union between desire and action, beginning, these beginnings and the creativity, motivation, and the calling of the heart. So projects that are coming up from a place that really causes us passion, enthusiasm. They are very, very well aspected. Also encounters with other people, this could be romantic encounters, but also associating ourselves with people because we are going into the same direction. We want the same things, we want to create the same things. So this aspect, it is going to be on track all of these days. Is very beautiful. It is perfected the next week, I think, though. So, well, the sun creates conjunction with Uranus. This is activated the whole week because actually it's going to be perfected on May 17th by the end of the week. And this is the last time that this happens in Taurus. The next time that they will have the encounter, it is going to happen in Gemini, and Uranus spends like 84 years in going through all the zodiacal wheels. So we are not going to be alive probably to see Uranus in Taurus again. So well, we officially have been experiencing activations of Uranus from 2019. So the topics, sorry, there is something flying. The topics that it were shown in that area, that they were shown in that area of our natal chart, they are coming to a closure. Even though Uranus still has this last passage in 2025 in Taurus, before coming back definitely to Gemini. It is going to enter from July until November in that sign. This conjunction with the Sun, it is like the last actualization of the software, because the Sun has to do with the forms and the things that we have made identity, that have accompanied us for a long time, and with being aware of how necessary are the changes that are presenting. The Sun is the light, so we turn conscious into consciousness aspects of ourselves. And with this, what I'm trying to say is that Uranus could signify situations that we didn't expect, that are disruptive, that are sudden, that are, that are coming as a surprise, but they are truly a synchronic opportunity for making movements with something that was already stagnated, or a part of ourselves that was asking to experiment other level of freedom. So this could be felt as chaotic, especially if we are putting a lot of resistance regarding the changes. And many times happens that we want the changes, but then when life presents the changes, we don't want them that way. But it is because we are limiting the possibilities with our perception. So it is important to remind us that all that is happening right now, it is to awaken this creative potential, to make innovation in our experience, to uncover resources and potential. So we will see what happens in the collective with this transit, because I also told you that all of this has to do with economics, with terrestrial resources, with the movements of the earth too. So, well, we will see what happens. Okay, on May 14th, the Sun in Taurus creates a sextile with North Node in Pisces and a trine with the South Node in Virgo. This is active from right now because it's part also of the full moon. This is a beautiful opportunity to, to lead a dream ahead, to listen to our intuition and understand which is the evolutionary decision, probably different one, that is involved in this phase of the experience. Even though with the North Node in Pisces, we are not going to see everything clear, how things are going to be ahead. But this is about putting a step after another, a foot after another, feet on earth, and moving into that direction. There is this fluidness, I don't know if I'm inventing that word, to transcend the perfectionism, the will of wanting to plan, to make plans about everything, having every detailed, controlled, and moving forward. The Sagittarius loves simplicity, and the South Node many times could be expressed as seeing, more seeing complexity in the things, or being very closed in the labyrinths of the mind. But this aspect could mean that we are seeing that, we are observing that, but we are not giving that too much place. We are not giving that space, and we've just attending what it feels in coherence, in inner coherence. Also, this is very good to use the energy of Virgo in light, the capacity of creating an order in our present, of adding habits with the consistency, the necessary consistency to descend to earth potentials that we are imagining. So all of this could contribute with the fact that, or the day after, May 15th, Jupiter in Gemini creates a square with the North Node and with the South Node. So at the same time that we have this opportunity, we have, also a challenge, because this aspect of tension are telling us at the same time that there could be this kind of obstacle between intuition and beliefs, or perhaps there is an excess of ideas and directions that are operating as the mechanism to not face certain decisions. And it is important to understand that this is not about faith, this fantasy of faith in which we are expecting that the universe solves everything for us and we don't have to do anything. But it does has to do, sorry, with elevating our confidence in that when we are taking coherent decisions with the soul, even if they are challenging our limitant beliefs, even if we are not seeing entirely how we are going to reach certain circumstances or materializing certain things, when there are intuitive and conscious decisions, when they are emerging from that space, cosmos opens the doors, the miracles happen. This is also the energy of Jupiter, but this is not about waiting for the magic, make things work out. If we are doing that, we are going to feel more uncomfortable, and the energy that it was supposed to be used to move forward ends up invested in situations that bring immediate satisfaction. But Jupiter is many times about this planet of, yeah, I want to spend a good time, I want to feel freedom, but there is a difference between enjoying truly expansive situations that are connecting us with our freedom, and to invest our energy in things that don't have a true purpose, a true sense aligned to our path. That sooner or later will take us to a crisis to, reevaluate what we are doing with our lives. So, well, with the sun and and the conjunction with Uranus, this could be a moment of crisis too, a creative crisis, a necessary one. So, well, okay, this aspect is part of the next week probably, but we are going to feel it some days before. That's why I'm going to mention this. On May 18th, Mercury in Taurus perfects its square with Mars in Leo, so this aspect could present certain disagreements on how we have to move forward in certain experiences, whether these disagreements are happening with other people or internally, and both could be both. We have internal disagreements that are projected on the outside. So this is more like our mind is thinking that we have to do things in a certain way, has certain posture. I talked many times about the stubbornness that Mercury in Taurus could have, Mercury in this position. But life perhaps is telling us there are other ways, there are other things that we could do, or we have to create an agreement with other people in order to move forward. And there is a great need to, not put in front of the discussion and the egos. One thing is the basic respect and the loyalty to the heart. I am not saying don't respect your health boundaries, but other thing is trying to impose ourselves or sustaining the disagreement just because we want to be right. And these aspects are, part of both energies, Mercury in Taurus and Mars in Leo. So in order to integrate this, we have to evaluate and integrate practicality. This is very important. And at the same time, to not spend our creative energy in unnecessary conflicts. This is very, very important, to prioritize how am I going to move forward in this situation. Because the ego could be very, very, very active, the disconnected ego. So, well, I just wanted to leave these messages today. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.